in this community, and the community has done its assessment. And now they have to think about which actions they are going to take to go forward. So, what is the experience with accompanying a community that is at that stage? I have some reflections around that. And I must confess that while I understand, of course, we've done so many action plans, who, what, by when, with which resources, etc. Something in me is resisting that. I think probably in some communities it's worthwhile to offer that, but in many it doesn't work that way. Why? Because all the situation around the intent to go from, let's say, level 1 to level 3, all that is in a flux. So you do a plan today, tomorrow you're out of the room, you already have to change it. So to me, there are two things that are crucial. We want to go to number 3 or number 4? Okay. How shall we know that we have reached that level? And it is actually Cyrinet who starts from there. So we have a discussion, a serious discussion on what is the level we want to reach and how shall we know that we have reached it. So the indicators is set for that level. That is a first point. The second point is who. In other words, who takes charge of what action? The rest you can do out of the room. You don't need to go in detailed planning on who, what, when. You can feel that with the person who takes charge of a particular activity to reach the level, can then, harness other people, invite people outside the room, etc., to move forward. But what is important is to know who is taking responsibility for which action. That would be my 2 take-home lessons from that. But this is mine. I'm sure there are many others, but these are my 2 take-home lessons from the last 10 years.
I agree with you that volunteers or people who are taking actions on their own, they can manage, they can work on that, and if people are motivated enough to take charge of an action, then they will, the instrument, the tool will just help them to structure their action. That's it, that's more. Yeah. But in some cases it helps to trigger the volunteers, because very often when there is action to do, they say, well, how am I going to do that? So this little tool, which is not it's not rocket science, is helpful in that endeavor. That's for sure. It's just a tool. It does not replace the motivation, the will to do something. For sure. That's.
And we could even, I can see in my village, basically, as long as there is no human being saying, I commit towards that action, I commit my time, because in general that's what you're talking about, I commit my time to that action to reach that goal. Forget it, don't even write it down on the action plan. At least you need that commitment to get going, I think. Then the rest, as you said, it's useful, but I also would not start with that. In other words, not get at a stage where, boom, you put an empty table in front of the people. Okay, who's going first and what activity and who and when? No. Have the conversation and then maybe in a second stage say, okay, now can we fill this? To double check that we have our ducks in a row, that we are ready for action, but not to start that table which is framing things too quickly, so that people can come with their energies for things before. And there I would go back to this idea that let's discuss really, let's put ourselves not into 20 years, but in 3 months from now. Can we depict what it is that we have reached and how we shall know that we will know that we are reaching there?
Another aspect of the action plan, which is, in my view, important, is that we promote local responses. So, as you say, this action has to be taken at local level with the resources of the community, of the group we are in. Fine. But that does not mean that everything has to be done locally.
No.
Okay? I remember clearly in Madagascar some years ago, where a community, when it was on AIDS competence, a community did their action plan for village. I don't remember exactly. In three parts of the action plan. There was the first part, what we can do as a community. The second part is what we can do with the help or the support of the
local
health centers. And the third part is what we will request from the district level so that we reach our goal. So there was a clear, distinctive action plan there. And that was fine. I mean, then they start with local action, then they look with the health center how they can go further or for more for bigger actions and so on and so forth. So that's although we promote and we push people to do something on their own, that does not mean necessarily that they have to do everything by themselves.
No. Absolutely, and there the Congolese have coined a wonderful expression in French, les petites actions faisables, the small feasible actions. So what are those actions that we can undertake by ourselves?